bottom of your screen. Go to the bottom of your screen if you are on on your computer, and then I'm not sure, it's usually under 3 dots when you're on your phone. Click on the chat function, and if you could just drop in there where you're calling from, maybe what industry you're in or what kind of job that you might be looking for. But we would also love to know for all the veterans that are on the call today, if you could just drop in the branch of the military, we would love to see that as well. So go ahead and drop that in the chat. Thank you, Vance, Army. Go ahead and drop that in the chat. Tell us where you're calling in from, the branch in the military, and then if you're looking for a new position, what kind of industry or job you're looking for. Oh, this is great, you guys. Teresa logging in from Fort Huachaka. I probably butchered that. I'm really sorry. But military spouse, that's fantastic. Just so you all know, we are recording this today and live streaming it. So if you have anyone if you talk to somebody that would like to get on the call and they're not in, they can catch it on our Facebook Live. But all of us can go rewatch this at any time out on, we'll have it posted on the militaryaz.org site, and you can catch the call. Look at all these great veterans logging in from Navy, we have Army. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is fantastic. I actually was born on a military base in Okinawa, Japan. And I love to tell people that story because my dad was in the Air Force, and when I was born, they grabbed me, the nurses, and took off because they had this little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, and my mom was like, "Where's my baby? Bring her back to me." And they were passing me around the hospital. So my family, my parents loved their time in Okinawa. I would love to know if any of you spent any time in Okinawa. I hear it's just beautiful. I was only there for a year, so I don't remember all of it. But okay, so our agenda today, going on to the next slide, we are packing in a lot today. And so we are going to hear the national anthem to get us started in just a minute. Then you'll hear from Denise Gredler, and then our sponsor spotlight is Cox today. And then we'll have Vet Talks presenters. So these next 5 companies are going to be speaking for about 8 minutes or so, and they're going to talk about some of the things that they do in their companies. They're going to give us a tip about veterans and transition into the corporate field. So they each have a different topic, and it's such an interesting time to hear from the companies. Then we're going to hear from one of our sponsors, Pipeline AZ. They have a phenomenal military program, and Jasmine's going to walk through that. And then we're going to hear from the featured hiring companies, which you can see on the right side of this slide. And each of them are just going to speak for a couple minutes, a couple highlights about their company and their culture and the jobs they have open, and then how to apply. The cool thing is, you guys, all of these speakers are in the chat right now. So feel free to reach out in direct message. Feel free to ask questions in the chat while the conversation is going on. I see the chat is just already blowing up, and you guys are having great conversations starting. So thank you for dropping in where you're calling in from, what branch of the military you're in, and then if you're looking for a new position, tell us what kind of position you're looking for or what your industry is. The other really cool thing we'd love for you guys to do, and you can see Luke has done it, Lindsay has done this, a couple other people have done this, Corey, drop in your LinkedIn URL. If you go out to your browser and you open up your LinkedIn profile, click on just your picture and it will take you to the profile page, and that URL that's in the browser window, the search bar, copy that and drop it into the chat. The reason we love to do that is because that's a way for us to connect to each other, because we're not in person and we can't connect in person. Well, we will be having in-person events soon, but because we're virtual, it's a really great way to connect with each other. So just connect with each other on LinkedIn. Most people that are on this call are going to accept connections. We love having being connected to each other. So thank you, Philip. Thank you, Nick, Carter, Ron. Look at these. So many LinkedIn URLs already. Just go out and start clicking on them. And as long as your LinkedIn URL is blue, That means it is clickable. And so you can click on it, go right out to LinkedIn and connect with that person. All right, so then at the end, after all the companies talk, we're gonna close it out for a few minutes, and then we're gonna jump into breakout rooms. And what this allows us to do and allows you to do is any of the companies that you hear talk today, any of the speakers, they're each gonna have their own breakout room. So we're gonna have 20-ish breakout rooms at the end. And you can go into each one and talk to them directly. You already heard their talk and what they're about. You can talk to them directly about applying or more about their company, ask some more questions, and they would love to talk to you. So that will happen at the end of the day today. We also have, Bree, on the next slide, we have closed captioning available for you. And so that's at the bottom of your screen. If you would like closed captioning today, just click on that live transcript button and we will, you'll be able to have the transcription. All right, you guys, something really cool. We've never done this before, so we're just praying it all works out. We are going to invite Kelsey Mueller-Spude, I might have said that wrong, into the call, and she is going to kick us off with the national anthem. Kelsey?
Thanks. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Woo! Kelsey, that was amazing. We should have had a flag on our screen. I'm sorry we missed that, but wow, thank you so much. That was phenomenal. Wow, thank you. Look at that. Look at the chat, Kelsey. It's just blowing up. Thank you so much. Thank you for your service. Thank you so much. All right, you guys, I would love to transition. Bree, if you could skip a couple slides over to Denise. Just one of my best friends in the whole world. We've been working together for 13 years or so now. And she is the founder and CEO of Best Companies AZ. This was her dream many years ago, and she has made it happen year after year. I'd like to introduce you to Denise Gredler.
Yay, thank you, Jessica. And thank you, Career Connectors, again for co-hosting this event. As I say every year, we would not do this without you. And we really appreciate your partnership. As Jessica said, this is our 8th anniversary of doing the Vet Talks event. And I have to say that my grandfather was in the Navy, but we never talked about it. We never knew about it. So I really was not aware of some of the obstacles that veterans had in career search until we were asked by the ASU Pat Tillman Center to help coordinate an event down at the Waste Management Open. And that was back in the days when we were doing live events up at the golf outing. But back in that time, when we did the event, it was a live event, and we were honored at that point in time to be able to serve veterans. And it was an eye-opening experience for me because I didn't realize the obstacles and the stories that we heard from veterans and military spouses. So from that day forward, this has been near and dear to my heart. And it's really one of the main signature events that we do every year with Jessica. So thank you all for coming out. A little bit about Best Companies AZ. I am excited to share that this is our 20th anniversary. 20 years ago, we did launch the very first Best Place to Work program in Arizona. And ever since then, we have been identifying, developing, and promoting the best companies in Arizona. And this particular event, if you go to the next slide, Bree, you will see that everybody here at this event has some sort of award or accolade. And that's what I love about what we do, that we have all award-winning companies that have been validated by their employees as a best place to work. And many of them have been voted by Best Companies AZ on the left side as a best for veterans because of their employee ERGs or their hiring practices. Many of them have been voted like best for vets or military friendly on a national level. And then also just recently, many of the companies today, I think 4 of the companies today just recently were named to Fortune 100 Best Company list. So I'll let them share who they are so I don't steal their thunder. So it really has been an honor. 20 years, I will say our mission has always been to connect the best talent with the best companies. And we love hosting this event and helping to connect veterans with some veteran committed employers. I've been doing it for 20 years and I have to say, I still love it. So I'm going to keep going until I until the Lord tells me that it's time to quit. So with that, I want to go on to 3 things before I go on and introduce the sponsor. One, I first want to encourage you, Jessica already mentioned it, please engage in the chat. You will see a lot of dialogue. My team, Carrie and Miles, are with us today. We'll be putting links onto the career page where you can look at and maybe eyeball a couple of the careers that the companies are looking for. And please visit as many virtual rooms as you can. Don't look just for the big brand names out there. We encourage you to really go in and visit a couple of the rooms. I know I was talking to my friends over at Voya and they said, you know, they'd be able to help anybody navigate. Even if they don't have a job for you, they have staff in there that can help point you in the right direction if you're looking for a particular career. So, and then last but not least, connect with Best Companies AZ post-event. As Jessica mentioned, we are taping the event and we are going to be pushing it out and partnering with Stars and Stripes, Heroes Media Group, and a lot of our local community, really helping to push the careers out to connect these great employers with some of the great veterans out there. And so with that, I now am honored to introduce our friends over at Cox Communication. We want to thank you for your sponsorship. These events there's a lot of work that goes on the front end, doing a lot of employer branding and showcasing the great companies. So we really appreciate your partnership, Cox. I'd like to introduce Neftali Lizarago, who is the Service Assurance Manager. And he has been in the Army for 8 years. And he's going to share a few words about Cox. And then a little later on, you're going to hear from Tion with Cox as well. So Neftali, I'll turn it over to you now.
Thank you, Denise. Quick sound check. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. First of all, just thank you guys all for being here. It's awesome to see some friendly faces and hopefully in the future we'll be in person. Yeah, just wanted to share that Cox is very dedicated to hiring veterans. We have 3 on today from our company, but we have a veteran employee resource group that is across the country and in the Southwest region specifically. It has one of the highest participation rates. So very excited about that. Just like every other company here, we are hiring. And I was once in those shoes when I got out of the Army and I was like, what am I going to go do? That transition can be difficult. My advice to everyone here is send a special note to the folks here to connect. I'm happy to connect as well and give you that advice, mentorship to be able to transition into a company. I know every company is different and it has this little nuances. So having an insider friend is going to be very, very helpful. And I'm very excited you guys are going to hear from my friend Tion here in a few minutes. He's he's an Army Ranger and was a sniper, so he's a very cool cat that you guys are going to hear from here soon. Thank you. Pass it over to Jessica.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys and your sponsorship of the program today. All right. So I just wanted to go through real quick. These are the 5 Vet Talk speakers you're going to be hearing from in a few minutes. Axon, Cox, Freedom Financial Network, GoDaddy, and Workiva. And then on the next couple slides, you'll see the Vet Talk or the speakers that are going to give the 2 to 3 minute talk. And so there's some of the companies listed there. And then on the next slide are also some of our community partners. Now, these partners are not speaking today, but they were, or some of them actually are. Pipeline AZ is speaking today, but they all helped us get the word out about this program. Rio Salado College did a Vet Talks package and made that happen. So some of you on the line probably talked to a professional resume writer before the event, probably did some interviewing with somebody ahead of time to prepare for today. And so that was sponsored by Rio Salado College. And then we have all of these other partners that help to get the word out and help us out. So thank you again to all of our phenomenal partners that made this happen. All right, so we are going to go ahead and move on into our Vet Talks presentations. And first person I would like to introduce to you is Bridget Scheffler. Over 10 years of design experience, Bridget is a product designer with experience at both ends of the spectrum, from disciplined to extremely unconventional. She started her career designing interactive exhibits for museums around the country and decided to take a break from creative industry to serve her country as an intelligence analyst. Bridget gained a variety of systematic skills in the US Army from 2011 to 2015 and served on multiple overseas deployments. Upon exiting the military, she realized the design field had changed exponentially, so she applied to the University of Washington's Human-Computer Interaction and Design program in Seattle to see how she could mold her service into becoming a skilled product designer. She spent a year at Shark Dreams in Raleigh, North Carolina, designing software for a smart device that tracks medication consumption before landing a role at Axon, working on 911 dispatch tools. Her diverse background in the military and civilian positions have shaped her strong belief in design as a problem-solving and applying her skills to public safety. And at Axon, she serves as the vice president of the Veterans Employment Resource Group, which hosts events throughout the years for veterans and allies alike to participate in. So please help me welcome Bridget Scheffler. Hello.
Good morning. I want to share a little bit about Axon, and then I'll jump into how I went from enlisted intelligence analyst to product designer for public safety. The goal here is not to spotlight me, but rather educate and inform others that may be in my shoes staring down the same crossroads as I did not so long ago. So Axon, which is formerly TASER, is the global leader in devices used by law enforcement. It's not just tasers, but also body cameras, in-car cameras, drones, artificial intelligence, and software that is built to support a fair justice system. Axon is a purpose and mission-driven company trying to make the world a safer place. So what I want to do is reflect on lessons learned so far during my transition process and be so bold as to insist on words of advice. The observations I share will likely apply to all career paths, but most are skewed towards the tech field. So the tech world is overflowing with career opportunities, and many veterans don't know where to start, and that's okay. It's exciting, scary, confusing, and thrilling moment filled by big choices, a big commitment, and big expectations with very big questions about the future. With how fast tech moves, you'll never stop learning. Just like the military, the pace of technology can have the same hurry up and wait mentality. So first and foremost, working in true ambiguity is hard. It's really hard. It's not comfortable, but it is exciting if you embrace it. It's like waiting to find out what your next duty station is. You have no idea where you're going, but you know you're going somewhere with new challenges, new people, and you got to go. I would say dive into tech in the same way. If you've had experience working with technology in the military, entering the tech field is not out of reach. If you have no previous experience, you're still likely to find that your rigorous training, teamwork, and problem-solving skills to be very transferable. Unlike the military, we can choose our future and design a career that works for us, but our military experience gives us the discipline and work ethic to figure it out. So it's okay to not know everything. Ask all the questions, immerse yourself in culture. The best advice here is to get used to being uncomfortable. Start out adopting a new hobby, research creative thinking, explore previous foreign ideas. Understand what your options are. You will grow exponentially by pushing yourself outside your safe space. Next slide, please. I'd like to talk about being resourceful. Oh, I'm on the next slide, sorry. Realize you might need training or retraining. Just because you served does not mean that you are owed anything. Tech is not a go or no-go sport. Most tech roles require a specialized technical skill set, but it can be mastered in a realistic time period. So I've uncovered a lot of great resources since moving to Seattle to join the tech hub of Axon HQ in Scottsdale. I'd like to share some of those non-traditional resources that I used. There is no predetermined flight path for all. I'll start with war is scary, but so is grad school. I found 2 specialized full-time year-long master's programs, and that was the best way for me to dive into something new and continued to specialize until I knew what skill I wanted to master. I researched schools a year out, which led me to the University of Washington's Human-Computer Interaction and Design program, super specialized. And it was one of the best years of my life. Design and intelligence, I didn't know how I could fuse these 2 roles together. I didn't know it was possible, but you don't have to fit any type of mold. You can form your own unique path and take risks. I was beyond terrified to be around a group of such well-accomplished people that were bred to be embedded in the tech industry, but there is room for us. My instructors and fellow students challenged me to expand my capabilities, which helped me discover the type of designer I wanted to become. A generalist designer and researcher, making decisions that are intentional and evidence-based to include empathy and technology to solve real human problems. In between my masters, I had to commute 3 hours a day, gaining experience at a startup, which I really like to highlight because not only as a veteran, but as a military spouse, now more than ever have the opportunity to achieve roles remotely. With that, a startup role can give you credibility. You'll need to force yourself to learn, wear many hats, be extremely resourceful. And if you get an opportunity for an exciting and new company, I say go for it. But it is all about finding what path is right for you. It is possible to get a job without a degree. Many tech giants like Google, Apple, IBM no longer require one. You can consider other pathways into tech. Many military skills are transferable into tech jobs, and there's an increasing number of certifications, boot camps, scholarships, incentives to help veterans break into a tech career. Maybe you want to learn a new coding language. There are now lists of coding boot camps that accept the GI Bill. And there's a reason why they're called coding boot camps. When you're in military boot camp, you're just absorbed into the world of the military, and that's exactly what you'll get in one of these development boot camps. You immerse yourself every day into writing code and developing. When I got out, I had no idea where to start, or even 3 years out, or even now, I still don't have it all figured out, but I stay curious and jump from one opportunity to the next and found the right combination that works for me. Even when grad school was coming to an end, I still had a lot of work to do. So with that, learning a new language, next slide, is no matter what or how much training you get, you need to speak the new lingo. And what can help with that is networking. I found a mentor. I asked for feedback often on my portfolio and my resume. I researched for interview advice, deep diving Glassdoor for interview questions. Interviewing in tech is exhausting. Be prepared for full day on-site interviews with challenging questions with hard, soft, technical skills. Just because you learned a new coding language means you need to present and communicate your work with a high level of complexity to stakeholders, the customer, and your peers. Realize that communication is fast in tech. If you can have an educated conversation about the industry and the company you are excited about, you will stand out among applicants. The veteran tech community is small but mighty. I went to dozens of meetups before I found a company that matched my goals as well as mine matched theirs. I'd really like to give a shout out to Operation Code, another veteran nonprofit resource that has a special place in my heart for putting on networking events that led me to my interview at Axon. And even then, when I thought my journey was over, it was just beginning. You have to double down at what makes you good and what makes you unique. It's one of the things to talk about your military experience, but how does it translate? I have found that there are many similarities between talking tech and military jargon. They are essentially the same thing. They both shape how we define a problem, solve it, and apply lessons learned to a common goal or mission. It can feel overwhelming to step out of the military and compete with civilians who've spent years building their careers in tech. But your veteran status can be a secret weapon if you know how to leverage it. So just like joining the military and committing to a position of service, exploring the tech industry is also a serious decision that requires investment. There's no need to wait until you leave the military before exploring your tech career options, readying yourself for transition. The best time is pretty much always right now, since it gives you more insight, better preparation, and a bigger window to find the opportunities that are perfect for you. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Bridget. I can imagine it is overwhelming making that transition. Thank you for providing some really great advice for our veterans that are on the call. We appreciate you. Thank you for your service and thank you for being here today. All right, we are moving now on to Cox. Tian Gudina is here, and Tian joined the U.S. Army right after high school and went to Fort Benning, Georgia for basic training and AIT to become an infantryman. Immediately after AIT, Tian went to airborne school where he graduated and proceeded to his first duty station. Tian has served with several units to include the 82nd Airborne Division and the 1st Cavalry Division. His roles have included 240 machine gunner, team leader, sniper, senior sniper, sniper section leader, and trainer. Tian spent a total of 10 years in the Army with multiple deployments and is now a network operations manager with Cox Communications. Welcome, Tian.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Can everybody hear me okay?
We gotcha.
All right, perfect. So I specifically asked Bree to not share her screen whenever I come on, just because I don't have a PowerPoint to really present, but I wanted to more interact with everybody and just kind of let everybody know my story and how I transitioned from being in the military after 10 years and transitioning over to civilian life. So at one point in my military career, I understood that it wasn't in me to continue anymore. It wasn't something that I wanted to pursue in the long term. And at that point, I said, this is where I have to start thinking about transitioning. Let me give you a little bit of what was going on in my life at that time. I had 3 kids, three young boys, a 10-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old, and my wife. And so I was leaving a paycheck, I was leaving healthcare, I was leaving a security overall, just leaving security, having a job, going to work every day, and being able to provide for my family. So leaving for me was very, very scary. At the time, I wanted at the time as an infantryman and with the skills that I had, I thought I could only do a couple of things. I was like, well, I'm an infantryman, so I guess I can be a cop. I could be border patrol. I applied to be an FBI agent and an air marshal and several little things here and there, things that traditionally as an infantryman were thought to be where my route should go. But I didn't really realize other things. And I think I realized in the process, and I found myself in the process in transitioning over to the civilian life, that I just didn't bring those skills to the table. I brought my real skills were my core values that the Army or just the military in general had instilled in me. And I know these core values like the back of my hand. I know the Marines have their core values. Air Force has another set of core values. Overall, every single branch has a set of core values that are instilled in us from day one in basic training or boot camp or whichever one you went to. So as a leader in the military, I said, I want to be a leader in civilian life. I want to transition over to any company, it doesn't matter what field, and be able to be a leader there. I found myself that I started going to school and I found that I was decent. I was okay at math. And I found my trajectory on an engineering role or an engineering degree. that led me to be able to apply at Cox. I ended up getting a job at Cox Communications. I found out really quick that their culture and the overall values that the Cox family holds, because we are a privately owned company by the Cox family, the overall culture and the values aligned really closely to what I had in the military. So I was able to find myself right away in several departments to say, this is home. This is where I belong. This is what I feel like is familiarly with my skills. I quickly became a leader within my organization as a network operations supervisor, and really changing the culture in the department to be able to say, as a leader, we really need to change the culture from it's all about me, it's what I do, it's how I do it, and changing the culture to taking care of each other, not only through setting the example, as I knew how to do in the military, right? You lead by example, but also just through policy change to making sure that those policies aligned with what we were trying to drive the overall culture to be. So I was able to change the culture overall whenever we were hiring for future talent. For example, I know before we would only look for education and skill set. That's it. Like, did said person go to a good school, and did said person get good grades? Or what is this person's skill set, and are they able to do the job now? A lot of the things that we didn't look at was work ethic and self-discipline, right? You can't teach work ethic, you can't teach self-discipline. So some of the things that were kind of overlooked at that time, and it provided a work environment that wasn't really the best to work at for other techs. So we found ourselves losing a lot of the technicians that we really wanted to keep. So looking at work ethic, self-discipline, making sure that they were overall just good people, and then making sure that they had an education and the skill set to go along with it, is really changing the mind and make sure that not only do we have a successful running a successful network, but we're running an overall successful place that people want to work at. People want to wake up in the morning and show up to work and say, man, I can't wait to get to work type of environment. Very challenging for sure, but it was something that was my goal. In my leadership role now, I'm now a manager in the same department, and I'm able to develop and help leaders through difficult times as we go through a lot of change. A lot of that change has to do with our culture change, but also just changing how we're structured and the overall company, how we do business. And I know it's easy to find resolve when everything is peachy, or it's easy to be a leader when everything is peachy. But real leaders do shine through difficult times. Real leaders do shine through change, and it's something that I'm able to instill in my leaders now, to make sure that they understand that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and they need to be able to project that to the people that report to them. So I say all this not to say, oh, look what I did, but more to make sure that you're looking at yourself as more than just what you do in the military now, more than just a truck driver, more than just a mechanic, more than just an infantryman, right? But you look at yourself as someone that now instills values to work ethic, to self-discipline, selfless service, and making sure that you project that whenever you show up for an interview. You project that in your civilian life, because that goes a long ways, and that is a diamond in the rough that I don't think it's explored much, or it's not developed as much as we would like to develop it. So with that being said, that's the end of my presentation. I appreciate everybody listening to my story and coming to today's meeting. So thank you.
Thank you, Tian. That was a great message. Thank you so much for those encouraging words. I love that, you're not just a truck driver. You're not just your job. You're so much more than that. So thank you for sharing that with us. We really appreciate you. I also want to just mention a couple things. Thank you for keeping the talk going in the chat. If you are dropping your LinkedIn profile in, awesome. I'm loving connecting with you guys. I've connected with probably at least 20 to 25 of you already. Your LinkedIn profile URL, when you drop it in the chat, needs to be blue for us to click on it. So when you go out to LinkedIn and you click on your profile, you can click on your picture by getting there, copy it directly from your browser search bar, and then drop it in. We can't copy and paste. It's a security reason, so we can't copy and paste. But if you make it blue, we'll be able to connect with you. And so thank you everyone for connecting with me on that. And then also I've had some questions about all the links to jobs. We will be sending a follow-up email to this from this program. It will be done within the next day or two. You'll see an email and have links to all of the companies with their job boards. So that will be coming. And as a reminder, we are taping today's call. And so it will be recording today's call. So it will be available to you after. All right. So excited to introduce our next speaker, Vance Rogers with Freedom Financial Network. Vance is a former active duty Army Ranger from the 2nd Ranger Battalion. And during his military career, he never had a bad leader. They either showed him what to emulate or what not to emulate. When he left the military, he proceeded to college and started his own company developing custom CRMs for local Arizona companies. After 8 years, he decided to close shop and enter the corporate world to learn and advance, joining startups and then established publicly traded companies. He had looked up Freedom Financial online and found they were one of the top companies rated by employees, and all the tech jobs available told him they were doing something special there, and maybe he could lend his skills. When he started his engineering leadership role with IT at Freedom Financial, he could feel something special from the first few days just from the new employee onboard experience. He saw that company values weren't just words on a wall for prosperity, but an identity of the CEOs themselves. The leadership they were bringing in was intelligent and contained vast experience while also upholding those same company values. He is always trying to help the customer be their best self and the employees be their best selves too. Please help me welcome Vance Rogers. Yay.
Thank you for having me. So I want to thank Best Companies AZ for hosting this, especially Denise and the partners, and I think Bridget and Tayon, great talks. I'll try to compete with you guys, our internal competitive spirit. This is really just about my conversation, Rally Point at Freedom. So a little bit about me is already described. I'm a former Army Ranger from the 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, fire team leader, ASU graduate in accountancy. I can talk ad nauseum why I chose that as my major, but we don't have enough time here. Former business owner. I am the chairperson of the Freedom Veteran ERG here with the company. And I've recently just been promoted to Director of Engineering of Enterprise Applications. Next slide, please. So a little bit about my path. I joined the military out of high school also, had big aspirations to be a lifer, wanted to go into the Rangers because I had a contract for it, wanted to go Special Forces, and then hopefully get an opportunity to join the Delta Force if I had that chance. So after about 4 years, things had changed in the military. We see it all the time, leadership changes, perspective changes, and I decided to get out and go to college. And as well as going to college, it was probably during the dot-com bubble, and I was going for computer science and technology. I decided to change my profession to accountancy because at that time, technology did not have a bright future in terms of local America work. A lot of it was getting outsourced. So I did change my profession a little bit, thinking accountancy would always be great. I realized, though, being so proactive in the military, coming to college, it was almost easy because I'm so used to being a busybody. You're doing 12, 16-hour days. And so I started running my own business while I was in college just to keep my brain and my hands busy. But I also realized there was some fundamental challenges, which I'll talk to when we get to the next slide, that I had to work through. So owning my own business helped me work through that. And then realizing that I did not have a certain level of skills to expand, I said, you know what? I need to go into the corporate world. I need to understand some of the scalability. You need to understand some of the sustainability and how things are done at a bigger level and how to move those levers. And that's what I did. I proceeded in our startup world. I then entered into one of the largest e-commerce companies in Arizona, where I got basically a master's degree on user behavior, design, why they click on a button, why they don't click on a button, how orders are fulfilled 24/7, how Amazon works, how eBay works, just phenomenal information. But every day I was driving by my current Freedom building that I work at, and just a beautiful building. I looked them up online and saw they were doing something really special by just the jobs they're asking for. I read about their core values in it, and I decided to put my name into the hat to work at Freedom. Next slide, please. And so what I really want to talk about are some of the pain points that even today I still have after 20 years of being in the military. Bridget discussed it, Taeyeon discussed it. I'm sure people following me are going to discuss it. And some of that is our communication level. We're used to being so direct out of the military. We're used to delivering things so poignant. We ask, why did that fail? Why did we do this? And you come to realize that a lot of people who do not have military experience take that as very abrasive, very obtuse, almost prickly, and people don't understand that we're just trying to get to the solution directly. We don't care about all the minutiae that got us there. Let's just get to the solution and let's move on. You know, in the military, maybe you did some push-ups as a punishment, but it was quick to forget and we moved on. And so sometimes learning the communication skills that you need, learning how to soften the language, learning how to deliver more eloquently and what you want to get across so that other people can understand is a huge skill gap to learn. But it can be learned, just like Bridget talked about. These are languages that can be learned and they can be expanded on. Triage of situations. This is something that I find is really pertinent for people coming military. People who haven't had military experience can make mountains out of molehills. And the truth is that we have level 8 problem thinking. When there's a level 8 problem, okay, boom, 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 we chunk it down, we break it down, we find a solution. And sometimes you find that people who don't have that experience want to get dragged into minutia again. They want to slow down, they want to provide all these other avenues of approach, and it could be frustrating. And so sometimes learning that patience level of this is the way things are at, and it may not always be the best way, but at least give your opinion, be vocal. It's one thing about the military is you learn to be vocal, which is really good. Skill transfer. My past predecessors just spoke about this right now. This is huge. As a matter of fact, I did an experiment on military.com. I put in 11 Bravo infantryman into it, and it said I'm a bus driver, I can handle hand tools, and I'd be a good security guard. And we're proof that that is not true. Matter of fact, there's a lot of people come out of the military who'd make phenomenal project managers. I saw someone post it in chat that they're a project manager at the PMP. Project managers are almost exactly a military carbon copy: process implementation, team leading, collaboration. These are all things that are viable skills. And personal responsibility. This is something that I also found was a very tough pain point. In the military, we're learning to be very responsible. Don't make excuses. We're very responsible for ourselves and our actions. And as a matter of fact, we're responsible for the actions of the person to our left, to our right, for our team members. And so we're proactive. We stay proactive to help the person to our left, to our right, to ourselves, to our team. And a lot of times we run into people in the civilian world who do not have that personal responsibility. There's an excuse. It's someone else's fault. They don't figure out a way that could help the business, help themselves to move forward and move past that and become a team player and be very collaborative. Next slide. Thank you. So when I got to Freedom, and Jessica talked about this a little bit, there were some things that I found immediately valuable. The values were short and distilled. I've been at companies where they had 6 plus 15 values, and they didn't preach them. They said customer was first, but they didn't treat their employees well. So the employees didn't treat their customers well. The values at Freedom are simple, almost straight out of the military. It's act with integrity. It's care for the person to your left and right so that care can continue to the customer. It's always be better. We're always trying to be better. It's collaborate, work with your team members to your left and right, and be that. That's it. Four values. It's amazing. We have very proactive co-founders and CEOs. They're one and the same. We have 2 CEOs and they're 2 co-founders. And matter of fact, I even helped the co-founder, Brad, build out an application called Happy, which he interacts with the business daily, and you can reach out to them at any time. They have open phone, open door policies. You can talk to them, you communicate with them. This is a huge business, and they take the time to care about their employees. I've been in business where the CEOs, they will shake your hand with a smile and say, hey, we're highly profitable. And then the next statement, they tell you, hey, but you're not getting a bonus. You know, these are things that were very conflicting, and I have yet to see that here at Freedom, which is absolutely amazing. We really get to help people that are struggling. There's a lot of people who have financial illiteracy in the world. We're not taught this in college. We get into debt. We steal from Peter to pay Paul. We pay one bill one month and we can't pay the bill the next month. But the next month we pay the bill that we couldn't pay and then not pay the bill that we paid. And these are the people that we get to help. We get to teach them financial literacy along the way. We get to help them get out of debt. We get to provide them good loans when they need it and help them consolidate these things. So we get to take not only what we have internally and express it externally. Phenomenal mental health support within the company. We have an application called Ginger. We have great things around our benefits that support it. So I mean, not even just talking on the level of veteranship, there's just a great support system that we have there. We have ERGs across a broad spectrum. I'm the chairman of the veteran ERG. We have the African American Black ERG. We have the Hispanic Latino ERG. We have the Asian Pacific Islander ERG, and we have the ERG Pride. And there's even more coming out. We're gonna have women in tech. So there's a lot that are happening currently in the place. And like Jessica mentioned in my little synopsis, there's great leadership. We keep having phenomenal leadership coming in with huge pedigree, people from Cisco, Goldman Sachs, just leaders in their industry coming in with great culture already, helping us change and evolve. Next slide, please. And so I want to tell everyone, when you're coming out of the military sector or you're looking for your job, work is work. You do X, you get Y. Work is work. What really makes the X factor in this day and age, because all salaries can be pretty competitive, is culture. Culture will always win. So just make sure you're with people that you want to work with. They show up and they have a smile on their face. Sure, there can be bad times, you know, things are cyclical, there are waves, but you really want good culture. And we have a great culture at Freedom. With that, I really thank you for the time and allowing me to speak.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here today. One of the questions was, what was the website that you had mentioned?
Did I mention a website?
I missed it, but somebody asked the question, so I thought, did he mention something? So maybe not.
No, Freedom Financial's website is something I talked to you to read about the core values. Okay. My job's available. It'll definitely get posted in chat, and I will post my LinkedIn so people can follow me there too. Okay,
Bernice, if there was another website you were talking about, just let us know that.
Oh, military.com is the website I went to put in my job to see what was out there. And
there you go.
Shocked that all they thought I could do was blue collar work as an infantryman.
That was the one. She said that was the one. Awesome. Thank you again. We really appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
All right, I'd like to introduce Rel Ward from GoDaddy. He is a sales supervisor and has been with the company since April 2019. He spent time with the company as a business consultant and supervisor. He served in the Marine Corps from 2007 to 2015, specializing in communications and informal instruction and training. During his years of service, he had the pleasure of serving with a Marine Expeditionary Unit, which granted him a unique background working through diversity and joining forces with people all over the world. Although his departure from active duty was bittersweet, the next chapter for him was embracing his first passion of being a father, because at the time he was a single parent of 2. Rejoining the civilian workforce was just a challenge, and he needed to ensure that it fit the lifestyle he was attempting to build for his family post-military without sacrificing his time with them. And so in 2019, he found GoDaddy. His family motto was already GoDaddy, so it seemed like a good fit. He drove past the company office almost every day while finishing his degree at ASU. The rest has been history, and he is truly humbled to work for a place that values the concepts of humans first. He believes it's something that is embedded in the employees, and every entrepreneur he has had the pleasure of guiding in this digital business age. He found a place where his skills from active duty were valued and appreciated. So please help me welcome Rel Ward with GoDaddy.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for attending, and thank you, like I said, for your current speakers. I'll try not to sound like a broken record here, and I'll try not to give you guys death by PowerPoint, right? I try to be brief and quick as possible. But yeah, I'm Rel Ward. I spent 8 years in the Marine Corps. My primary MOS was 0621. I was a radio operator. From there, I kind of being with the expeditionary unit placed me to a lot of advantages with working with a lot of different units across, our partners and allies across the world. And leads me in here. All right, so let's go ahead and next slide, please. And one of the first things, guys, I really wanted to jump into, because that is one of the questions I really had to ask myself, right, prior to going on this job search is, what's my why, right? What do I want to get out of it? What do I want? What does it mean to me, right? I'll tell you, just to give you a little background why it meant so much to me. For me personally, growing up, I grew up in a military family. So I happened to be a military child. My father served 30 years. My granddad before him, he served 30 years, and before, my great grandfather also served. So being a military child and constantly going through the up and move and never really getting settled, it was very important to me from a child to, yes, serve my country, but also to to commit that same level of dedication and commitment to my family. All right, so that was one of my biggest whys, as I look to make that transition out, and for everybody in this room right now, we all come to that transition at different points of our life, whether it's retirement, whether it's medically separated, whether it's just a change in pace. We all are going to face our own unique obstacles as we go there. So understanding that why and what you're really in it for is makes all the difference, right? Because I'm pretty sure we can all relate. Motivation and all the conversations, they get you hyped up and they get you excited for a minute, but I'm pretty sure all of us can remember in boot camp when the motivation ran out, right? There was no more motivation. So what kept you going? What keeps us going then? When all the motivation runs out and all the praise and all the excitement is gone, how do we stay consistent with this dream or these goals or or these desires that we want out of life? And one thing that I think, and Vance was talking about it previously, and just as well as our other speakers, as veterans, guys, like we already have been equipped with the skills and traits that are of high value in this workforce, right? From everything from your critical thinking, all right, from your integrity, all right, from discipline, all right, and from tactfulness. I mean, then we could go on to those core values and speak to them, but from whatever branch you're in, you've been embedded with these intangible traits, and these intangible traits, guys, are gold in the business world. They're gold, right? Like somebody said earlier, you can't teach work ethic, right? You can't necessarily teach discipline, right? That piece, that piece comes with us, and as veterans, that's the piece that we bring to the table in our character. And as you look to, like I already said, like as you look to make this transition, guys, think about it. Like, take that, you deserve it. You owe it to yourself at this point. Take the time and figure out what fills your cup, right? I know there's a lot of different assessments. I took them too, assessments. As I initially made the transition, I did everything from being certified, becoming an EMT, to go look at being a firefighter. I did private security with Gavin Becker. I did private security. I even worked in rehabilitation. So I tried many different things to get my hands out there. But ultimately, what I started to realize is the more I tried to fill these gaps and chase these different dreams, the more time it took away from my why. The more time it took away, the more time it took away from my children, and I wasn't even happy with what I was doing, right? So one thing I would like to say before we go to the next slide, is keep in mind, guys, like as we make the transition, we're not alone. Like you have your brothers and sisters in arms. We have a great organization. We have resources out here that that support us, that can support us and get us and get us where we need to be. But one thing that I think is great, a great lesson in the military is this: it is a great equalizer. Right, the military is a great equalizer to make us focus on bigger issues and bigger problems in life rather than our own individual. Right, it shows us that through perseverance and through teamwork, we can pretty much overcome any obstacle that's put in front of us. Right, so holding on, so that willingness and that ability to work through diversity and be able to work within diversity, effectively is a huge benefit that you guys have coming into the workforce, right? You've worked with people from all over the world, right? From different countries, from different states, different genders, different religious backgrounds, right? In the military, we don't have a choice, right? But that camaraderie and that unit cohesion is something that we bring to the table. Like I said, that I think is underestimated a lot of times. Next slide, please. So as I go into, I'm pretty sure, and this is even for me before I started GoDaddy too. A lot of us, what is a GoDaddy? Right? Just by a quick post in the chat. Does those who do not exactly know what GoDaddy is, just what do you think GoDaddy is? I would love to see this. When you hear the name GoDaddy, what do you think of? All right, Enrico, you already got it. Web hosting, something to do with web-based service. Absolutely, Jessica. Danica, everybody remembers that one. Natalie, take care. I love you guys. Okay, all right, next slide. What is a GoDaddy? All right, so GoDaddy is the world's largest platform for entrepreneurs around the globe, guys. Our dating, and I've actually received a few of those calls and had to talk somebody out of that. No, we're not a dating site. Right? I'll share a funny story as I close about that one. But like I said, we are here and we empower entrepreneurs in this digital age, guys. We empower entrepreneurs to operate their own business, to pursue their own dreams, and be self-proficient. Like I said, so with that being said, our bread and butter are domains. Right. So when someone wants to go into business and the first thing they want to do is we'll say register Walmart.com. They come talk to a company like mine and we help them get them set up with the web tools and the services they need to operate business online. Okay. Our vision statement, our vision is to radically shift the global economy towards life-fulfilling independent ventures. And one thing I love about that, I know it just sounds words and it sounds cool and it's quick, but it's the truth, right? To empower the people to the left and right of us, to empower our neighbors, to empower our brothers and sisters to live their dream, right? But fearlessly and courageously live their dreams and accomplish, and accomplish what they wanted to accomplish, and also to be able to connect with people all around the world. As none of us are immune to. I mean, we've seen what's happened in COVID over the past several years, and how much has drastically changed our work dynamic. I'll tell you this. Prior to me working at GoDaddy, me being in the Marine Corps, one of the biggest things that I had dealing with was not being there for my sons. Right. So I have a total of 4 kids now. But being there in the stages for my son's early stages was hard, right? I spent, out of my first 4 years in the Marine Corps, I think I may have spent 10 months of it actually at home. Other than that, I was either deployed or training for combat, right? And then I woke up this morning, for example, and I've literally been working from home since 2019. So now I wake up every single day, right, with my kids to the left or the right of me, and that fulfills my cup 10 times out of 10, right? Like to be able to actually be here to empower others, but also to live within my why and see, and see my children. Like I said, blessings, blessings. But ultimately, those little things are all boiled down to like Vance said previously, the values, right? The values that we individually hold, and then finding a place out here in the workforce where your values are actually are appreciated, right? And it's a great thing, guys. There are companies out here that really want to empower us and give us the ability to shine. Ultimately, I didn't come into this company looking for a leadership role, so to say. It was more so presented, right? And all of that, if I'm being honest, I don't believe I did anything special. Ultimately, it was those core values, and that integrity, right? We do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, right? Regardless of who's watching, regardless of what's around us, we do, we advocate for what's right, and we stand up for right, because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure most of us can relate, but that's what we put our hand up for in the first place, right? So I encourage you, those of you, who really reside deeply with those camaraderie and that culture and, and that spirit, like hold on to that. Like the workforce out here needs it. Our economy needs it. Our people need it. So thank you all, for taking the time to be here today. Thank you for taking the time to, to listen to us. I'll go to the next slide as I wrap it up here. And one of the awesome things I'll tell you about this too is, for working for this company and working for the company GoDaddy, it's been amazing, right? The way when you put people first, it's amazing what happens, right? People first, even whether you're in a customer facing or as an organization or corporate facing, right? So with this company, with GoDaddy particular, they have amazing 401k plans where they'll match you dollar for dollar. Right. We also have stock. We also have stock opportunities through grants and an employee stock purchase program where you get to purchase employee stock at a discounted rate. And also subsidized meals. Right, back before we were working in the digital world, we did work in the office here. And one of the greatest things I used to love about the office works is every day we would get a lineup of 3 different food trucks, and the company actually pays subsidized and pays for the majority of the meal. So all you got to have is a couple dollars in your pocket, and you got lunch, right? As well as one thing my company is extremely advocate on is taking your time, right? Of living passionately part is not necessarily working all the time and overworking yourself, but it's about investing that time back into you and your family. So for all of you who are going through this transition, I encourage you. Like I said, I did post my LinkedIn. I'll post it again. If you have questions, reach out. I am here. I'm here to help. I'm a firm believer that teamwork makes the dream work, right? And if you help enough people accomplish their goals and get what they want out of life, you will always find yours. So stay strong out there, guys. And like I said, I'll be in the breakout room if anybody has any other questions. And thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Rel. We are dying to know if you guys still have the slide in Tempe.
Oh my goodness! So we had to take the slide out because it got a little too. It got a little too hazardous, man. People were coming down about like 30 miles an hour and breaking stuff. So we had to adjust that a little bit.
That was a fun slide.
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it. You have some questions in the chat, so if you can take a look and answer those, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So our first one to pop up was Tyler's, but the dating site. So in my earlier career, I was a consultant. So I dealt with actual business owners and entrepreneurs. Sometimes I also dealt with their angry spouses who didn't know what GoDaddy was, and all they seen was a charge on their billing on their billing. That's so when an unsuspected spouse, they see there's a charge in their billing from a company called GoDaddy for $1,000 for however much the product was, and they call in just extremely embarrassed, and they call in, and a lot of times we can talk through it, but a lot of times what ends up happening is that wife or that spouse will cancel the business owner services.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
But
my gosh, some of the questions you guys get are crazy.
Yes, they are. But we're always able to talk through. But just those ironic things definitely bring a spark to your day sometimes.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. We really appreciate you, Rel, being here. All right, we're gonna move on now. Kelsey is gonna come back, and she's gonna talk today about. First of all, she joined the United States Army in 2012 as a musician. Performing on French horn and vocals. You all heard her beautiful rendition of the national anthem a little bit ago. She was stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia, and provided a variety of musical support for military ceremonies and community outreach programs. After 4 years, she separated from the Army and moved to Ames, Iowa to complete her Bachelor of Science in Accounting at Iowa State University. And during this time, she joined Workiva as a professional services manager. Her role provides accounting, software, and financial reporting expertise for numerous public companies utilizing the Workiva platform. Welcome, Kelsey.
Thank you, everyone. So I just wanted to take some time to tell a little bit about my story today. So I'll go ahead and go to the next slide. So quick agenda, I just want to do a little bit of my background, and then I want to talk about career switching in general and what to consider with it, utilizing your skills, and also how I joined Workiva and how you could too. Next slide, please. So before you ask, yes, being a musician is really a job in the Army. And yes, I still had to go to basic training. I spent most of my time, like she mentioned, performing in that field on that first picture pretty much every week. That's the basic training field on Fort Benning, Georgia. So basic training graduations, change of command ceremonies, you name it. And then in that second photo, I did a lot of memorial ceremonies, outreach, things like that. And then this last photo is actually my husband, who I met when I was there. He is a combat engineer, and this is when he was deployed in Iraq. So he finished his active duty service as an Army recruiter when we moved back to Iowa, and now he's in the Army Reserves as a finance specialist. Next page. So as much as I did love my job, I remembered how frustrating it was to join the civilian force and feel like my entire time in the Army didn't mean anything to anyone, especially as a musician. It earned your generic thank you for your service, but it didn't really feel like it added anything to my hireability. And for a while, I really thought this was just an individual problem of mine. I'm the one who chose the highly specific job, and now I have to start over. And I knew I wanted the lifestyle and the stability that accounting and a technology company could provide. So I chose to believe I just simply had to start over. But then a couple years after finishing my degree, my husband was also leaving active duty and experienced the same frustrations, which I thought was strange because he served more time than me. He was a recruiter and did all sorts of sales and recruiting and admin type of work. And yet the job hunt process was still very frustrating as well. Beyond that, I learned more and more of my military colleagues were getting out of the military and having to make career switches. And I really wasn't alone in this process. Even those that had 20 years and retired, where there was still a big jump when you get out and trying to figure out what you're going to do next. So what I wanted to talk about leaving the military is kind of this career switching, and that it doesn't mean you have to completely start over. What I've seen over the years from people is that there can be kind of two extremes on those that get out. There can be that one side like, oh, you're in the military, you can get any job you want, especially if you serve 20 years and retired. There's parts of this that are true, but I worry this can also lead to becoming frustrated if that doesn't work out exactly as you planned. There's still a lot of work you have to put into transitioning and advocating for your military skills in a meaningful way for that employer. Then see if there's any gaps that you need to fill in or expand upon further. And then this other mindset is that your military career doesn't mean anything toward the civilian job. If it didn't directly correlate, it didn't matter. And I really didn't have a job I had that correlated. I felt like I was starting over. Civilians don't always understand what you're bringing to the table and what your service means. This is where you want to advocate for your service and the skills that you learned while you were in. So whether that was 2 years or 20 years, same thing. And I know I personally tended to downplay my military service, thinking, well, I'm going into accounting. What does being a musician have to do with anything I'm doing now? So what I wanted to talk about was finding a middle ground. So next slide. I was fortunate enough to utilize the transitioning services on Fort Benning. So definitely utilize what you can around you. You're making a great step being here. Keep reaching out to people, find things that your state does, that anything around you to utilize those veteran services. And so I was really lucky to work with an amazing resume writing coach there. I realized I didn't just have to say that I was an Army musician. I was able to dig deeper. I had really great project planning skills from organizing events all during the year. I had operational and personal skills when making sure that officers, drill sergeants, these giant companies of soldiers knew how to run a military ceremony properly, and that my soldiers knew when and where to be, what they were wearing, how we got there, and what music was being played. And translating that today, now I have a lot of those intangible skills of being able to work with anyone from interns to entry-level employees, as well as being able to communicate with CFOs, seasoned accounting professionals from Fortune 500 companies who now rely on me to make sure their financials and are prepared and reported correctly for filing. I obviously knew I needed the accounting skills to get to where I wanted to be today, but I also know I wouldn't be as successful as I am at Workiva without my time in the Army. So with this in mind, I would recommend digging deep about the skills you have as a veteran and finding ways to highlight those to prospective employers. So highlight the skills you have outside of your military job title. So I've listed a couple here to expand upon. So we have a sense of dedication to see a task to the very end. We have a mindset to look for unusual ways to solve a challenge and complete a goal. And we also have leadership and development skills working with a variety of diverse people and situations. I think a lot of times we take these for granted, but it was something I realized going through college and my internship that not everyone has these skills right away. So don't let yourself or employers take those skills for granted. Next slide, please. Lastly, for joining Workiva, it was such a breath of fresh air for me. I spent most of my college experience not even telling anyone I served. So when I first arrived at Workiva as an intern, and I learned there was an entire veterans employee resource group, I was at their first meeting that very next month. I got to connect and discuss with other veterans, and it was a lot of fun, and it's really been a very powerful group for us. Now today I actually help lead that very group, and we work on expanding our veteran community resources. We've even improved our company benefits for current military personnel, and of course veteran recruiting, since that's something I continue to be a big advocate for. I'm not based in Arizona, but what's great is that we have a plethora of remote roles available, and I have visited our Scottsdale office and it is pretty amazing. So so thank you everyone for listening to my story today. I hope something reached out to you, and make sure to check out our careers page and connect with myself or our HR team through LinkedIn, and also our breakout room later today. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Kelsey. Really appreciate you being here today. Thank you again for your beautiful rendition of the national anthem at the beginning. But something you said, which I keep hearing as a theme today, is I wasn't just a musician, realizing that and understanding your value and what you can bring to the workforce. And so thank you again. We appreciate you being here. But one of the things to tie that in, the next speaker we have is Jasmine Chamlin, and she is here with Pipeline AZ, and they actually have a tool that will help you identify some of your great strengths and match you to jobs. So it's perfect timing, leeway into this next section of our event today. So welcome, Jasmine.
Awesome. Thanks, Jessica. And thanks everybody for your service and for being here today. So really want to highlight some key functionality on the Pipeline AZ platform that can help you to find awesome career opportunities and career pathways. Maybe wanting to try something different from what you've previously done while serving. So just want to provide more information on the platform. So if you want to check out the platform while I'm presenting, please feel free to do so. For this specific event, we ask that you go to careerconnectors.pipelineaz.com. So on the platform, we have a military skills translator that's built into our platform. It actually originated because our platform was built for a Heroes to Hire initiative. So our platform was built to help veterans find career pathways, career opportunities. So on the back end of our platform, we are very friendly to your MOC and MOS. So military occupation codes and military occupation specialty codes. Next slide, please. So one way you can really highlight and search for opportunities based around your MOC or your MOS is by using our opportunity search on the platform. So when you click career exploration, that drop down when you log in, you'll select jobs, and you have the ability to type in your code, and it'll populate jobs that's transferable to, workforce development code or occupational coding for you to check out. So in this case, we typed in 25B Army code, and that is an IT specialist position. And so all of those relevant positions are searchable for you. And aside from that, you have the opportunity to match with them on your dashboard as well. Next slide, please. So that's using, the job search page. What you would do on an Indeed is type in your position title and your zip code. You can do that with your military code. Now, when you come onto the platform, you can also create a job match profile. Very similar to what you do on LinkedIn or Facebook. You basically provide your experience, you talk about yourself and your, skills and abilities. On your job match profile, there's a section under military experience for you to provide your MOC, and relevant skills around your role will pop up for you to add to your job match profile. When you do this, you get really specific career opportunities that pop up on your dashboard based around those skills. And if you have additional skills outside of your military service or your service in general, add those in there, because the more you build out your job match profile, the more job opportunities and specific jobs pop up on your dashboard around what you're interested in and what you want to do. Awesome. Next slide, please. So, and that's actually a screenshot of the feed you'll see. So registration is really easy. Just go on to careerconnectors.pipelineaz.com. You'll click register, fill in some very basic information, first name, last name, email. You'll set up a password. And then once you log in and provide your information in your job match profile, you'll start to see jobs that you match with. So it's literally a constant feed of jobs that you match with based on your skills you provided, just from putting in your MOC or your MOS. And then you can also use that job search function to find jobs based around that too. Something I didn't add in here. Is there an option to search outside of the MOS? Sorry, I just got a question. Let me look into that for you. We have somebody on our development team who could probably answer that, and I do have her information in the slide. Thanks, Bernice. So once you register, you'll see this feed, and it'll continue to expand. So you can favorite these opportunities and check them out as they go. Next slide, please. So need support. So as I told you, so our platform originated as part of a Heroes to Hire initiative. We have a member on our team who, was on board at the birth of our platform, Sherilyn Saliger. She's a retired first sergeant in the U.S. Army. So she takes our inquiries directly from our platform. So whenever you hit that contact support button in the bottom left-hand corner on the platform, you're connecting directly to her. So Bernice, I highly encourage you, just hit contact support. You can ask outside of the MOS what you could do to find opportunities outside of that. So she's a great resource, and she loves to help anyone serving or who has served find those amazing career opportunities. One last thing I'll add, I didn't include in my slides, is when you're on the platform, you can also search for companies, and we have employer tags that indicate initiatives around veteran hiring. So you'll see on some companies that really, push towards, wanting to do that as part of their job, and a lot of other tags on the platform. So be sure to check out the company pages to view any live job opportunities and learn more about the employers you're interested in. And I believe that is all I have. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. My contact information's there. And if you have questions or need help getting started, please let us know.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. We really appreciate it. I saw you drop the link in the chat box as well. Thank you so much. All right, we are going to move into the next section. Now for the next section, it's kind of going to be like quick fire. And so we have about 15 companies, and they're each going to speak for just a couple minutes. I'm just going to introduce them by title and company name, and then we're going to move along real quick. So, but one of the things I am really excited about is all the guidance and advice you guys got from the Vet Talks section. So while we're listening to these speakers, could you all take a moment and just drop in the chat some of the best guidance you've heard today, or maybe something you didn't hear, but that you've heard in the past and that you've utilized. So some really good guidance as you transition out of the military. Let's drop that in the chat today. Okay, first I would like to introduce Elmer Garcia. He is the sales recruiter for CDW. Welcome, Elmer.
Hello and welcome veterans, family members, and military-friendly companies. A big thank you to our guest speakers today. They had some amazing experiences to share and some great advice. And a special thank you to Best Companies AZ, Career Connectors, and all of the sponsors that make great events like these possible. My name is Elmer Garcia. I'm a talent recruiter with CDW based out of Chandler, AZ. And I'm excited to share some information about CDW and look forward to connecting with you in the breakout after. Next slide, please. So our company's story has a very humble beginning. 1984, our founder placed a $3 classified ad in a newspaper, sold a single PC, and CDW was born. On your screen, you're going to see some impressive numbers: 250,000 customers, 20 billion in sales, almost 14,000 employees. But I wouldn't blame you for not really being familiar with CDW. We operate in the business to business sector, and put simply, CDW is a leader in the IT and business solutions field. We work with the tech industry's top companies like the ones you see here, and we sell and deliver their products and services to our clients. These are small and corporate businesses, K-12 and higher education institutions, state and local government, as well as military and civilian and federal contracts. Next slide, please. So you may ask yourself, why join CDW? CDW is consistently being recognized as a top employer. Always striving to improve the experience for our coworkers. The business world is always evolving and growing, so are we. Creating a great work environment is just as important to us as staying ahead of emerging technology. We're very proud of our awards, to include numerous back-to-back Best Company AZ awards here locally in our Chandler office. Also of note are some of these aggregate sites where we're very proud of our scores on sites like Glassdoor, where feedback is anonymous and people are free to truly share what they feel. And we're very proud of our scores on those sites. So feel free to check those out. Next slide, please. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is a fundamental component of the CDW way, our core value statement. We're moving with purpose toward a destination where these values become a lived reality, where belonging is an everyday experience for all of our coworkers and future candidates. Our business resources groups, or BRGs as we call them, play an important role in promoting a culture of inclusion and belonging. Of special interest today, of course, is our Military and Allies Resource Council, or MARC. This is a community of veterans, veteran family, and veteran supporters who work together to improve the overall experience here at CDW. I will gladly share more about MARC and our BRGs in general during the breakout. Next slide, please. I know that we have veterans and military affiliated job seekers today from all over the world, so welcome to you all. CDW is a global company, and highlighted on this slide are 10 sales offices located across the US. Our company corporate headquarters is actually located in Lincolnshire, Illinois, just north of Chicago. And we also have massive distribution centers, Vernon Hills, Illinois, Las Vegas, Nevada, as well as numerous satellite offices. So don't let geography keep you from exploring our careers. Next slide, please. This is a very brief list of some of our current job openings. Of course, we've got numerous sales roles, right? Just top to bottom, from very entry level to seasoned and experienced sales roles, as well as technical roles, data roles, corporate roles as well, HR, you name it. We've talked today about, transitioning those skills. So please feel free to explore those. And I know 2 minutes is pretty quick, so I look forward to speaking with you during our breakout session. My information is here if we don't get a chance to connect, and I've also put it in the chat room. Thank you again.
Thank you, Elmer. Appreciate it. All right, we're bringing on Desert Financial Credit Union. Michelle Meneke is the Director of Talent Acquisition. Welcome, Michelle.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having us. As Jessica said, my name is Michelle Meneke. I'm the Director of Talent Acquisition at Desert Financial Credit Union. Desert Financial has been around for over 80 years. Our credit union was founded in 1939 by 15 educators with a little over $78 and a vision. Today, our company is a healthy $8.2 billion organization serving nearly 400,000 members throughout Arizona and growing. Next slide. Our values and culture run deep here at Desert Financial. We embrace and encourage personal drive, passion to help, big thinking, team mindset, and change readiness. Not only were we awarded the #1 credit union in Arizona 5 years in a row, but we recently received 2022's Best Bank of the West Valley. Our benefits are also out of this world, with a robust benefits package and even 100% paid tuition through the InvestEd program at ESU. My personal favorite is the Taking Care of Your Kids Fund, where Desert Financial will reimburse up to $250 per child per year for enrolling them in extracurricular activities. So Desert Financial pays for my little girl's gymnastics classes. Desert Financial is fully invested in our community, and a few highlights from 2021 are $3.8 million given back to the community, our partnership with Phoenix Children's Hospital, where we helped raise over $850,000, which helped 10,000 children. And Desert Financial also believes in spreading smiles across Arizona through random acts of kindness. And last year we hit over 8,000 random acts. We have over 80 job openings right now, so please check out our careers page and feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
All right, next up we have Deloitte. John Williams is SAP consultant and veteran advocate for the Gilbert USDC, and Sarah Hayden is senior consultant and veteran champion for Gilbert USDC. Welcome, John and Sarah.
Hey everyone, my name is John Williams. I'm retired Air Force, and if you're looking at my background pic, yeah, I used to box for the Air Force amongst other things. Currently, I'm an SAP consultant at Deloitte. I've been with Deloitte going on 3.5 years and presently working with the DoD covering ERP data migration. Next slide. Oh, and also my colleague and one of my best friends, Sarah Hayden, will be joining me and introducing herself shortly. Some awesome facts about Deloitte are that last year we had nearly 121,000 practitioners in just the US alone, working with 80% of the Fortune 500 companies, representing over 20 industry sectors. Next slide. Deloitte provides industry-leading consulting, risk, and financial advisory, tax, audit services to many of the known brands and companies, as well as the government. Next slide. And as you look over this slide, the words of our veteran and military affiliated champion, Juan Garcia, at the bottom, I could not say those words better myself. His sentiments are exactly mine. But I want to point out that Deloitte is huge, very huge on inclusion, very dedicated to it. And with that, Deloitte has and will continue to stand ready to help our transitioning service members. And Sarah, I will pass it on to you. Next slide.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. As he mentioned, I'm Sarah Hayden. I've been with Deloitte for 4 years now. I actually was one of the first employees on site when the Gilbert office opened up. So if you need to know someone at Deloitte, I'm the one to know, because I know just about everybody there. We're looking at this slide here about the things that Deloitte collaborates with. We not only collaborate outside of our company with the Wounded Warrior Project and with the Air Force Wounded Warrior program that they have, and ServiceNow as well. We have a ServiceNow Veterans Academy that we participate in. Deloitte also collaborates within itself for the the career opportunity redefinition and exploration programs. These are programs to help transitioning veterans and members and veterans gain a better understanding of themselves. This is an amazing program that Deloitte has, and I absolutely love it and have been a huge advocate and participant of it. Next slide, please. So what you see on here are some of the hot skills that Deloitte is looking for right now. As mentioned before, we have ServiceNow and the SAP and the Salesforce, but also with Workday. Those two names down at the bottom, if you can click on those links or take a screenshot of this, are Kevin Wordy and Brendan O'Boyle. Those are some of our top recruiters we have for recruiting veterans. And they are, when I say they are veteran friendly, they are very veteran friendly. Kevin Wordy was my recruiter to get me into Deloitte. Next slide, please. Also, if you like, take a screenshot of this. This will take you right directly to where Deloitte will explain what each one of these programs has to deal with. These are ones we mentioned a little bit earlier, but also to include the Military Spouse Initiative. And I believe that is all I have. I'll turn it back over to Jonathan.
And yeah, one more thing, and if you don't forget to come into our virtual room, we do have a recruiter on deck, Mr. Thomas, and he will be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John and Sarah. Appreciate you guys being here as well. Some people were asking if you guys are on LinkedIn, if you could drop your URLs and we will connect with you. That would be awesome. Thank you. All right, Stephen Loya from Vanguard is a diversity recruiting specialist. So welcome, Stephen.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for having me. It's a really great, it's a big pleasure to be here. Want to first say thank you to all the veterans who have recently served, those who are currently serving, and all the family members on the line. Thank you for everything you have done for our country. My name is Stephen Loya. I'm a diversity recruiting specialist here at Vanguard. I've been with the organization now 4 years. I am coming to you live from Scottsdale, Arizona. If you want to just go to the next slide, Bree. Here at Vanguard, our mission is to take a stand for all investors, treat them fairly, and give them the best chance for investment success. We do this primarily by helping those clients reach their financial goals, their financial needs. Here at Vanguard, we are one of the world's largest asset managing companies. We are the largest mutual fund provider, second largest ETF provider. As of December 2021, we have $8.2 trillion under assets under management. We have 4 US locations. Our headquarters is in Malvern, Pennsylvania. We have hubs in Charlotte, North Carolina, Scottsdale, Arizona, and Dallas, Texas. If you want to go to that next slide, Bree. Here at Vanguard, by joining us, you will be joining a team that's going to help change the world invest. We primarily do this by slashing fees at every twist and turn. We offer very low expense ratios. This in turn allows our clients to get the most for their returns. We make a lasting and real impact on millions of lives. You will be joining a place where you'll be heard. You'll do this by joining multiple CRGs, which will be on our next slide. So here at Vanguard, we, like many other organizations, we have employee resource groups. At Vanguard, we have a nautical theme, so we like to call them our crew resource groups. Crew is what we call our employees. So these 6 affinity groups are put in place to help crew feel a sense of belonging and inclusion every day here at Vanguard. Today, I'm going to spend most of my time on Vets Connect, which I'm a proud member of. Vets Connect is a community open to all crew that seeks to drive Vanguard's mission and building a community of veterans, families, and friends. We have 5 pillars within this CRG. These pillars all help drive that mission. The amazing thing about all these CRGs is that you do not have to belong to these affinity groups. You don't have to have been a veteran who has served this country. We welcome those who identify as that affinity group, and then all of the allies. I myself come from a long line of family of veterans, all from different areas of the armed forces, Navy, Army, Marines. So I feel very connected to Vets Connect. I love the mission that they offer. A few key events that they do throughout the year is they have a Veterans Day run. We have a Toys for Tots, and what we call Chow Halls. Those is where we actually invite very senior leaders from the organizations, like our CEO, Tim Buckley, to come and talk to vets, to hear them and kind of hear different ways of how Vanguard can kind of help support them grow throughout their professional career. More recently, though, March 17th, we actually had a group of crew members from Vets Connect participate in the annual Arizona Veterans Stand Down event. It was an event to help veterans come and help support them on everyday needs, such as getting them a haircut, tax filing in order to hit that tax filing deadline. We offered financial guidance. So just different ways that we were able to help the Arizona veteran community. And if you can just go to the next slide. We will be in our breakout room. We will have some recruiters there joining me. We are hiring actively for our Arizona site as well as our other US sites. Here are some of the few roles that we are actively hiring for. But for more roles, you can visit vanguardjobs.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Stephen. We really appreciate you. And we're dropping the URL into the chat as well. Just as a reminder, we will be sending out an email with all of these links to everybody on the call. So you will have the links directly to the companies after the call today. And we are also recording the call. And so you can go back and listen to any of these as well. So thanks again, Stephen. All right, I'd like to welcome Drew Foster. He is a manager over talent strategy with American Express. Thank you. Welcome, Drew.
Thanks, Jessica. Thank you for having us here. Thank you, everyone, for your service. We're just proud to be here. You're going to see on this slide with American Express, these are our values. This is what we base all our decisions on at American Express. We try to live these every day as we work here at American Express. And this is just, I kind of skipped my own introduction, but I've been with American Express for 30 years. So I know these values pretty well. And there's a lot of other people like me, as well as a lot of people that have just started with American Express. So let's go to the next slide. And I think that one, if I got it right, you can see the companies established in 1850. You can see some of our stats here. The biggest one to me is like we have a 1 trillion in worldwide billed business. That's a lot. It seems like, huh? And what we've been talking about a little bit today, it's a little bit humbling, but I'm proud of my company. We ended up number 8 on the best place to work for in Fortune's 100. It's our 3rd year in a row in the top 10 and our 22nd year in a row on that list. So very proud of my company that they're able to achieve that. So thank you, American Express, for making this a great place to work. Let's go ahead. We'll move to the other slide, the next slide. This is all our employee networks that we have. There's 15 in total, probably 2 that maybe some of them grab you. The 2 that I'll highlight is our 2004, we had our DAN, Disability Awareness Network, founded. And then in 2012, our Veterans Network is founded as well. So a lot of great networks. And again, like others, you don't have to be directly affiliated to participate. So let's go ahead and look. I think the next slide just showing some of our veteran, this highlighting our Veterans Network. This is just a quick snapshot I took from the vet page in Phoenix. You can see their mission statement, and you can see some of their projects and some of their pictures that they're pretty active on campus and virtually as well. So just really great stuff. And we're trying to do our best to support everybody, especially our veterans, through American Express. I think our next slide, Jessica, I should have sent you, we have to change the slide. There's only 478 job openings at American Express in Phoenix.
What the heck, Drew?
I know. Sorry about that. You can see all the departments here that are in Phoenix. A lot of this, some of the jobs have to be on site. A lot of the jobs we call hybrids. Some of these jobs are virtual. It just depends on the job itself. I put 4 jobs in there. Jessica, I sent you another 10 jobs to be posted to the site, all different levels, from entry level to manager and director level jobs that you'll find in those 487 jobs that are available here at American Express. So looking forward to speaking to everybody in the breakout room. Please join me. I love talking about American Express. So
thank you, Drew. We love having you here. Thank you for everything you do and your partnership over the years. All right, so we're going to move over to Kubra. Alex Arkarakis is the talent acquisition lead. So welcome, Alex.
Thanks, Jessica. I appreciate you pronouncing my last name properly. It's a tough one. Thank you. But yeah, I'm definitely happy to be here. And dare I say, the only Canadian at this event. I'm based in our Toronto office, but excited to be here nonetheless. You want to go to the next slide? So you may or may not have heard of Kubra before, and it's not surprising, but I'm here today to tell you all about what we do and why you should want to work here. But we have several solutions that we offer to focus on making our clients' customers' experience better using our software. So I wanted to take a quick poll. When the last time, or if you've ever paid a bill before, pretty simple. And if you wanted to use the chat and let me know the last bill that you paid, maybe it was your utility bill, a car payment, a mortgage payment, Verizon. Sure. Okay, I see some chats coming through, wonderful. So Kubra facilitates that and so much more. In addition to offering electronic bill presentment solutions, we also have software that will actually track your hydro and water usage. We use natural language processing so that you can tell Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa to pay an upcoming bill for you. And then we've also developed mapping technology to track and notify you of power streetlight outages or construction areas that are surrounding you. And there's so much more that we offer. So check out our website if you want a more in-depth list. But today we actually offer the most complete and integrated suite of cloud-based customer experience management solutions on the market. Next slide, please. So we have 5 physical offices that are scattered throughout North America, but due to increased popularity from remote work, even if you don't live in these states, we can certainly hire you remotely. So that's very exciting. We're also a Great Place to Work certified in Canada and US, which is really important to us, as well as many other awards that we've won. Arizona's Best Companies was one of our recent awards. We're really proud about that. Best Workplaces for Diversity and Inclusion, Best Workplaces for Women, for Mental Health, as well as Canada's Most Admired Corporate Cultures. So pretty big award wins under our belt as well. Next slide, thank you. So we have a number of different veteran recruitment and initiatives that are across Kubra. We have a handful of veterans that work for us today, and of course, we'd love to hire more. The veteran recruitment is definitely top of mind for our talent acquisition team, and we're always looking to have new potential partnerships, with other focused veteran organizations. And then I wanted to share a few important stats with everyone that I thought was important. Through our Great Place to Work survey, we were able to see that 84% of our employees actually feel encouraged to try new things and to encourage them to do better ways of doing things. And then we saw that 95% of our employees that they can be themselves with their teams. So we mean when we say it, we foster a very inclusive culture and a very safe place to work. Next slide, please. So why join Kubra? What sets us apart? At the end of the day, it's a lot. I think someone said it earlier, salaries, they are what they are. They're competitive nowadays, but it's so much more than that. Culture is definitely a huge thing. So we offer remote work opportunities or hybrid if you're local to the, Phoenix area, 2 volunteer days, your birthday off, senior training programs, great benefits, and obviously our culture I mentioned earlier, and meaningful work and challenging problems to solve at the end of the day, which is just as important. Next slide. And we're in growth mode. We're hiring like crazy. These are just some of the jobs that we're hiring for right now. They are very heavily technology based, as you can see. And again, we are open to remote work. So even though if you're not based in the Arizona area, that's perfectly fine with us. If you're based in other states, we don't shy away from that by any means. And then on the next slide, if you're interested in applying, which I hope you are, you can do that online. And I can paste our careers page link in the chat. So you can do that. All of our jobs are posted on our website. And if you have any questions specifically for our recruitment team, there's our email there, recruitment-team@kubra.com. So feel free to do that. And then a shameless Instagram plug, because we would love more followers. Our content is super fun, very engaging. So if you wanted to give us a follow, I would highly recommend doing that. And then on the next slide, of course, we're on the other major social media platforms that you can follow us on. LinkedIn, we'll post a lot of our open jobs. So you can check that out. And then, of course, on Twitter and Facebook. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Yes, Alex, you did a great job getting through in a couple minutes.
I tried.
So a lot of people are mentioning in the chat they haven't heard of you before, so they're interested in getting to know more. So make sure you chat with Alex in the breakout rooms. And if you can say her last name well, that would be a bonus for you. I had to practice with maracas and cacas. So anyway, I had to work on that, but thank you for being here. All right, we are going to move over to Sonora Quest Labs, and we have recruiters Natisha Lewis and Bianca Peregrine. They're joining us today. Welcome, ladies.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us. We are so very grateful for the opportunity. So really quickly, Sonora Quest Laboratories, we are a joint venture between Banner Health and Quest Diagnostics. So we are the trusted leader in diagnostic testing, and we have over 3,000 employees roughly, and we serve about 30,000 patients a day. So it's needless to say, it's never a dull day when you show up to work for Sonora Quest. But our values are one of the key things that I do want to highlight are the company values, because we do try to not only speak them and repeat them and memorize them, but we actually do try to abide by them and live them and walk them out from the CEO all the way across the board. So, our values are quality, accountability, collaboration, integrity, and compassion. And I know that our vets all embody those values. So there's a lot of common ground there, I would say, in that area. We are, I believe that this company, is just really a great company. We have various opportunities valley-wide. Next slide, please. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But we have a lot of opportunities valley-wide. One thing that I do want to focus on is that we have introduced on-the-job training for our phlebotomists, which historically has not been done. There's always a need for certification or some kind of experience prior to being considered. This year, we rolled out a new program where our training department has started to train phlebotomists on the job, which is really exciting, especially because, phlebotomy schools can be a little costly. So if we can save you that money on the end and train you and then get a great team member, we're all for it. So if you're not afraid of needles, which I'm sure none of you are, please consider that. And also, of course, our medical lab technicians, our medical lab scientists, if you are looking for something that's not as patient facing, we do have our client services, administrative, and also our logistics and couriers. So it's just a broad range of opportunities, just depending on what you're interested in. So we do encourage you to visit the website sonoraquest.com careers/careers, or you can also join Bianca and myself in the break room. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. But it's my own personal belief that a great company cannot be a great company without phenomenal team members. There's no way. So we do value our team members. We value our veterans, especially. We just really, really do love our employees at Sonora Quest. And that's all.
Thank you so much, Natisha. We appreciate you being here, and you can connect with them in the breakout rooms after.
Absolutely.
All right, looking forward to having Enrico Cacciatore from Voya Financial join us. He is a senior quantitative trader and head of market structure and trading analytics. Welcome, Enrico.
Thank you. And give somebody from the military 2 minutes, they'll give you 2 minutes. So my slides will slightly be asynchronous since we're kind of going over the 2 minutes here. But as mentioned, I'm Enrico Cacciatore, and I'm truly honored and excited to have an opportunity to speak to you today. I represent Voya Financial. Our vision is to be America's retirement company. And before I kind of tell you a little bit more about Voya, it was imperative for me to honor you and thank you for your service first and foremost. As an Army veteran, I personally know the challenges it is transitioning from the civilian life and understanding your skills and you developed in the military, and how do you translate those into the next phase of your journey? I'm not part of HR talent acquisition, but part of our ground troops executing Voya's mission. As mentioned, I'm a VP, senior quantitative trader and head of market structure and trading analytics for investment management arm. Also, Voya just stood up a Veterans Council, which I happen to be the chair. The council is in startup mode, still forming its goals and objectives, but with an ethos to, one, improve Voya's process of hiring veterans as well as within its community. And two is really supporting initiatives, whether through supporting veteran-specific charities or other partnerships. The bottom line is we really want to listen and learn from you, be your pathfinder, and ultimately get you hired, whether it's with Voya or another firm that's best aligned with your goals and skills. Now, to get us in sync with the slides here, if you can go to the next slide, please. And we can skip to 4. Here you go. Voya is a Fortune 500 company with a mission to make secure financial future possible, whether one person, one family, one institution at a time. Next slide, please. As you can see, our business represents wealth and health solutions as well as investment management. Next slide. Our assets exceed over 700 billion and over 400 billion in revenues. We have won, as you can see, numerous awards and recognized as an admired company to work for, embrace diversity, equity, inclusion, and look to hire veterans because we know your leadership, your teamwork, your ability to solve problems, your self-motivation, and bottom line, your diverse viewpoints bring with you only make you Voya better. And I'm really anxious to have you join us in our breakout section so we can work together to help define your journey and strengthen Voya. And let's go to the next slide. And here in the breakout session, you get a chance to really learn more about why we want to hire veterans and opportunities within Voya. And go to the next slide, please. And you know, as I mentioned, here are some of the skills we're really looking for. Next slide. And you can see right here, we can talk about in the breakup session where I hope you can join us here as a team. We'll have some others to help support you. You know, look at our current jobs. But like I said, you know, it's a journey. We want to understand why, what you're looking for, and help link and synchronize those two things together, what you're looking for and what we have to offer. And then maybe at least help you guide you to the right direction. So I want to thank you and look forward to talking to you soon.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here today and going through everything about Voya. Such a great company, so many resources there. So we dropped the link in, and I know you'll be in the breakout room, Enrico. Thank you. All right, I'd like to welcome Laura Lynn Smith with ADP. She is a Division Vice President and General Manager. Hi, Laura Lynn.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much. We're thrilled to be here and appreciate the opportunity to connect with all of you. I want to share a little bit about ADP. So if we can move forward to the next slide. ADP is, we are a Fortune 500 company. We're a global company. We do business with 140 different countries around the world. We have offices all over the United States and globally. And we are a provider of human capital management services, which if you think about, it really is, we're offering services to companies for hiring employees, paying them, providing them benefits, providing them retirement solutions, performance management, talent solutions, all the way to retirement. So it's really solutions for companies for their entire life cycle of an employee. I'm joined today by Harris Morris, who's our Senior Director of Veterans Affairs. We will both be in the breakout room to talk about our positions that we have available locally in Arizona. We have over 150 positions available, and across the United States, we have well over 1,000 positions available in implementation, client service, cybersecurity, sales, leadership, multiple positions. We highly encourage you to take a look at our job site while I'm talking at jobs.adp.com/veterans. If we can move forward to the next slide, I want to share a little bit about our industry recognition. So great karma, pays off. Our associates are incredibly important to us. We are a human capital management company. So of course our strength is in our associates, and Our strength is also in our diversity. So you'll see here some of the awards and recognition that we've received from LinkedIn, Forbes, Fortune 500, Working Mother. That's sort of our broad industry recognition. But obviously we have quite a bit of recognition from a veterans perspective. So Jessica, if we could just go forward to the next slide, we're going to share a little bit more about our military community recognition. So you can see here very strong awards and recognition for being a military friendly and veteran focused organization. We do have many different associate resource groups or affinity groups. Military Strong is our group that is focused on veterans, spouses, and allies. All of our employee resource groups are ally focused as well. So across, all of our locations, we have 9 different employee resource groups that focus on many facets of diversity, and our veterans groups are very strong groups in all of our locations. Our Tempe location, we do have a group, and we actively support the Pat Tillman Run that's coming up here in a week or two, which obviously is a very large event here locally in Arizona. We do offer various SkillBridge positions as well. So if we can just move forward to the next slide, you'll see all of the positions that we have available. Jobs.adp.com. Harris leads our SkillBridge program, and on the next slide, you'll actually see his email address. So you're welcome to reach out to Harris Morris directly about any SkillBridge for transitioning. But again, multiple different positions. I encourage you to go to jobs.adp.com/veterans. And Harris and I look forward to chatting with all of you in the breakout sessions.
Thank you, Laura Lynn. You've always been so supportive of veterans and been at many of our events. So thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, next I would like to introduce Nicola Denny, the Region Vice President West of APRIA. Hi, Nicola. If you are speaking, you are on mute right now. All right. I don't know if I see Nicola on the line. Yep, there you are. You're like, I'm here, I can see you. We cannot hear you. So, Nicola, I think, yeah, we're gonna move on, and then I'm gonna have you keep trying. I'm gonna ask you at the end, okay? All right, okay. So she was giving me all the hand motions, but so we're gonna move on to ANS now, and we have Doug Reeder on the line from Arizona Nutritional Supplements. Welcome, Doug. I know Bree is getting the PowerPoint back up, but welcome, Doug.
Well, thank you very, very much. Appreciate the opportunity. Beautiful artwork behind you. So I'm glad we got away from the presentation for a second to get to look at that. While the presentation is coming up, it's been interesting listening to all of these companies. So I would tell you, ANS is not any of the companies you've been listening to. We're not Fortune 500. We're not the best of everything. Candidly, we're a 25-year-old supplement manufacturer who is building hard on our foundation of what we have been in the past. I've only been with the organization for a year, and we're very anxious to tap into the veteran network to build a very, very strong future. So I would tell you, if I could start, that first of all, thank you very much for the service of all of the veterans. I don't think we can say it enough. It will never get old saying it, because I'm very honored to live in a free country because of your work. So thank you. My father-in-law is a retired U.S. Air Force colonel, so I feel that it's near and dear to my personal heart. Look, I can tell you, if you went to the next slide, ANS is a great opportunity, a great organization that is anxious to get people involved to build us to the next level. We have a philosophy here. We call it the 3 C's. It stands for customer, culture, connection. In our organization, there's only one boss, and that boss is the customer, and our entire organization is focused on serving the customer. From a culture standpoint, we focus on safety, empowerment, accountability, timely decision-making, transparency, and most importantly, respect. We want to leverage that to connect with the community and become a stronger organization. You see our logo in the bottom right-hand corner. It's very much under the ANS Cares umbrella, where we're focused on the financial, emotional, and physical well-being of our employees. I can tell you that as an organization, we have transitioned to a 100% full-time employee base. We've had a lot of success recruiting people because of the fact that ANS is here to help with the health and wellness of people. And ultimately, that's what we're most interested in. If you look at the next slide, you can see here, we have a lot of opportunities in our company. And primarily the reason we have those opportunities is our company is growing annually at over 20%. And so we simply have a need for more positions and more people to help grow just based on the sheer demand and the fact that we're in a space where there's so much need for health and wellness. So delighted to be involved, delighted to have the opportunity to talk. You can see some additional detail. Cynthia Hernandez is our corporate recruiter. You can see her contact information there. We do have 3 different facilities, 2 here in Arizona and 1 in Florida. So wherever you are, we're anxious to have you come be part of our team. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Doug, for joining the call today. We really appreciate your perspective and candor in the conversation.
Thank you.
All right, so we have 3 companies left, and at the end of this, then we will move into our breakout room. So you guys are almost there. Such a great networking happening today. So I'd like to introduce Jeff White. He is with Advantest, and he is the Senior Employee Relations Business Partner. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And I'd like to thank all the veterans for their service. And Jessica, I am going to make up a lot of time for you here. So let's go to the next slide, please. So we are the leading edge of technology. We will contribute to society through the development of most advanced technology. Go ahead and move to the next slide, please. So this is our Advantest way, we call it. It's integrity. And all of these what you see in the cone and the little flag thing off to the right of that is all of our values. And as you see on the 3rd ring down on the cone shape thing, our core value is integrity. And each one of those letters stand for what our integrity is. So if we can move to the next slide. So part of that integrity falls under the grand design. And our grand design commitments are to be the #1 provider of test and measurement solutions for the semiconductor industry, partner with leading edge customers such as Intel, develop leading edge technologies, attract and retain the best talent in the industry, be a learning organization, and provide financial KPIs and increase corporate values. Next slide, please. So these are 3 of the big positions that we're looking for. We're looking for CNC operators, setup technicians, and quality technicians. We do run 3 shifts here, so whatever shift would suit your lifestyle. We have first shift that runs from 6 to 2:30. We have second shift that runs 2 to 10:30, and then we have third shift that runs 10 to 6:30 in the morning. How to apply for our positions, you can stop by our Phoenix office, which is at 3010 East Elwood Street in Phoenix, or apply directly to our career website at www.advantest.com under the career tab. Now, I will say we are building a new facility right now out in Chandler, about 20 minutes from where our current location is. And I can say we are hiring like crazy. We're hiring people every day. We can't get enough people to come in and apply for our positions. So if you're interested in coming into a manufacturing facility, we are more than willing to teach you how to be a CNC operator, setup technician, quality techs. Sure, we'd like experience, but we're also willing to teach. Next slide, please. Our recruiting contact here in the Arizona area is Frank Cotto. He's our HR staffing consultant, and you can contact Frank right there at the email listed below. Next slide. I told you I'd make you up sometime.
Thank you. I love that you guys are offering the opportunity for people to come in. Not everyone likes to always just submit online. So thank you for that. And even growing in Chandler. So I'd not heard of you guys before. We're so glad you're here. Thank you, Jeff.
No problem.
All right, Valerie Schneider with the City of Scottsdale. Valerie is the Scottsdale Water Public Information Officer. Welcome, Valerie. We know she joined us. Wonder if she's on. Valerie, same, we're not hearing you. She's trying something, it looks like. Okay, we can hear you. We have a little bit of an echo, but we can hear you, so speak loud.
Okay. Of course, there's always technical issues at the end. Hi, everyone. I'm Valerie Schneider, representing the City of Scottsdale and Scottsdale Water. I am also currently an active duty military spouse, working for the city's water division. And hopefully we're saving the best for last. I know we were last on the list, but I think there might be one more now. So first of all, for the City of Scottsdale, you don't actually have to live in the city. A large majority of Scottsdale City employees live in other Phoenix area suburbs. Why work for Scottsdale? Well, military service members have a lot of transferable skills that many of our employees use on a daily basis. We also do on-the-job training in order to help you advance faster along your career path. And many of our dedicated, diligent entry-level employees can find themselves promoted within the first years. Our positions are career opportunities, not just jobs. So with hard work and dedication, it's easy to move up the chain and quickly. Plus, one of our employees' favorite perks, many of them are out in the field using their hands and not necessarily tied to a desk all day, but there are also plenty of desk jobs too. But our main focus is, of course, customer service because we serve the community. We offer many incentives along your career path, including up to $2,000 for completing level 4 operator certifications, with annual merit and market adjustments to remain competitive, even 5% above market. And this year there is a 5% proposed salary increase for all city employees starting July 1st. Plus, you do get to work for a world-class organization and have excellent benefits packages. Others say that they love the opportunity to even work for 10. We have continually open positions that can start your career path, from water maintenance technician, utility electrician, water services worker, and more. With multiple other career paths outside of the water division, there's a position for everyone. We also partner with active duty personnel for the Skill Bridge program, which offers an opportunity to work for the city as an apprentice during the last months of your service transition. And successful candidates can easily transition into our permanent career paths. So we are military service members and spouses. So if you want to learn more, please join us in the breakout room, where you can chat with some of our supervisors or email me or Lana anytime. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Valerie. We had a little bit of trouble hearing you here and there, but we're going to provide the link to everything you just told us so that people can go directly to your link and look at your jobs that you have open. But thank you for being here today. We really appreciate it. All right, Nicola, we're going to try you again from Apria. So Nicola Denny, let me hear you. I still got nothing. So we will make sure, Nicola. Denise?
Can you guys hear me? I can jump in. Yeah, Angel and I can jump in.
Great.
So my name is Amy Howell. I'm the Employee Relations Manager for the Western Division in Apria Healthcare, and we're super excited to be here today and to tell you a little bit about our company. So next slide. Okay, well, that's a little bit too far, but okay. That's okay. So we're a company that works to provide healthcare for patients in their home. And so, you know, improving that quality of our patients' lives. We have logistics positions, we have sales positions. Next slide. Sorry, mine's a little bit behind here. So these are some of, we do respiratory therapy, we do CPAPs, sleep apnea. We do negative pressure wound therapy, wheelchairs, walkers, or as we call it, bent metal. So these are some of the products that we're providing to patients in their home. So next slide. We have over 6,500 team members throughout the US. You can see we served over 2 million patients in 2021. We had an incredible work by our team members throughout the pandemic, as you can imagine. Next slide. And so we do have full-time and part-time positions. Our part-time positions are fully benefited at 30 hours. We have some health insurance benefits, 401k, retirement savings. If you want to hit the next slide, please. These are some of our job openings, but I also wanted to have Angel Della Riva give you guys a little bit of his bio and his work with APRA. He is a military veteran that we're extremely proud to have on our team.
Sure. Thank you, Amy. So just as Amy said, we are a durable medical equipment company. What I can tell you is I UMC veteran, right? Marine Corps, former Marine Corps. I got out back in '99, didn't know what DME was. Just like everyone else that we've heard on the call, I wasn't sure what I was going to do or how my skill set was going to transition. I was an E3 and my next duty station was going to be overseas 2 years. I was recently married with 2 kids. So I chose to go out into the civilian sector because I didn't think I'd be able to do another tour or a tour overseas and my family unit stay intact. I actually took a temp job, came into DME and fell in love with the industry. That was over 20 years ago. I tried doing something else for a little bit and I wound up coming back to APRA about 6 years ago. Started out as a warehouse clerk again and then worked my way up. What I can tell you is durable medical equipment is the base scenario is we provide home equipment for home care patients that are coming out of the hospital. So like if you have a hospital bed, respiratory issues, wound care, anything that you would use in a hospital setting, we provide that direct to home. What I can say is a transition for someone who's looking to do something in a myriad of roles, right? Because we have logistics, we have sales reps, we have customer service, we've got billing, the whole gambit of everything. But just like in the service, when you are looking to do something that allows you to give back to the community, right? It's not a self. You don't do the service to do for self. It's the team environment. It's things that you are looking to get out of serving others. We do the same thing in the home setting. It's the only industry that I found for me personally that's allowed me to do the same thing. At the end of the day, I feel like I'm making a difference because that's what we do. We treat our patients. Our motto is improving the quality of life for our patients at home. So hoping to talk to you guys in the breakout room. Very veteran friendly.
I also wanted to just mention, even though Nikki couldn't join us on audio, Nikki herself is also a veteran and she is our region president. And so again, happy to have you join us in the breakout room and talk with you a little bit more about what APRA has to offer. And we're throughout the Western US, so we have a lot of different positions open. So excited to have you join us.
Awesome. Well, thank you for stepping in, Amy. Thank you guys. We appreciate it. All right, you guys, we made it through all of the companies. And now I just have a couple words, a couple resources for you, and then we will go into our breakout sessions. First of all, again, this will be posted on our website. Militaryaz.org is what is hosting everything. And then careerconnectors.org is what has additional resources we have virtual webinars, we have different chats and resources available. So visit us anytime. And then of course, the partner on this, Best Companies AZ, has a newsletter that you can subscribe to stay up to date on all of the career opportunities and more that you heard about, not only today, but as well as all of the open positions with many other companies. So you can go to bestcompaniesaz.com/subscribe, and you can find a lot of advice on their website and blogs. All right, we have a couple great events coming up. Next Tuesday at 9 a.m., we are doing an technology, IT, and cybersecurity event where we have about 20 companies that are looking for talent and people that are in those careers from entry level to executive. So whether you're currently looking or you're just open to a possible new position, or one of these companies looks interesting to you, join us for that call, and you can get that on our website, careerconnectors.org, or you can also do the direct link, app.careerconnectors.org/tech. Joey, if you could drop those links in the chat, that would be great. And then we have April 28th is one of our regular events. We're content driven, and we have career coaches one-on-one there, or to talk to you one-on-one and to support you one-on-one. So networking versus selling with Dave Sherman. And we're going to be talking about how to network, how to have those conversations. This one is a virtual event, and you can check out all of our events again online. And but again, like I said, we'll have professional resume writers, we'll have career coaches, LinkedIn coaches, all there to work with you one-on-one after the keynote talk. And then one more big event we're doing, this one specific to the city of Avondale. So if you are out in the West Valley, we have over 20 companies coming to a live in-person event. We're so excited to go back live. It's been over 2 years for us since we've had a live event. And so we're doing a Cinco de Mayo event because it is on May 5th. We'll have a food truck with free tacos and beans and rice, and we're just gonna have a blast. We're so excited. We're giving away AirPods and a whole bunch of giveaways. We're just super excited about this event. And so join us if you're looking, if you're in the West Valley, this would be a great event for you to come to as well. Thank you to all of our Vet Talk speakers today. You guys were awesome. If you noticed in the chat when I asked for the best advice people had heard today, it blew up. There was a ton of stuff in there. And so really thank you for all the guidance you've provided to our veterans today. Thank you to also our presenting companies, given your 2, 3, 4 minute talk and the opportunities and how you enjoy having veterans on staff and always look for that talent. So thank you so much. And then also thank you to all of our community partners. It takes a lot to make these events happen. And so we couldn't have got the word out to this community without you. So thank you so much. Denise, did you want to say any last words before we move into the breakouts?
No, just happy networking. Please, I encourage everyone to go check out all the breakout rooms and find that best job with one of these best companies. Thank you all for coming out, and thank you everyone for your service. And thank you, Jessica and team, for your service. You've done an amazing job again coordinating the event. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I want to give a special shout out to our new event director, Bree Martinez. You heard me reference it a couple times. This was her first big event with us, and she killed it. So all the companies were engaging with her, and she was the one behind powering the presentation and doing all the stuff today. So Bree, I just was standing ovation to you. We love having you as part of our team. All right, and speaking of, I'm going to pass this over to Bree, but I want to let you all know that we are just praying for you all, that you land into the career of your dreams. Thank you so much. Thank you for your service, and we are happy to be here today. Bree, take it away.
All right, well, thank you so much. I'm going to now play a short video, which will tell you how you can enter the breakout rooms to interact with all of the companies here today. So in just one moment, I'm going to play it and you should be able to hear it.
Bree, I think it's muted.
Okay. Can you hear it now?
Not yet. Okay. It looks like on the screen, it's is there a way to unmute that? If not, I can talk to it.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. We had a couple blips today. It's no problem. This tech stuff happens sometimes. And as you all know, Zoom updates all the time, and sometimes we don't get the update. So in the breakout rooms, on the bottom bar of your computer, you can look and you will see an option for breakout rooms. Those breakout rooms will launch here in a few minutes. And what we're going to have all of our companies do is go join the room that they belong to. They will go in there, and then we will have everyone else. You can then just put your mouse over the room that you want to join, and you can join the room that you like. So people will be waiting in the rooms. You can also move around in rooms. And sometimes, depending on the version that you have in Zoom, you can go directly from one room to another. Sometimes you have to come out to the front or to the main room and then go back in. So it just kind of depends on your Zoom and how what version you have. We will have the rooms available until about 12 o'clock. We'll give a couple minutes or we'll give a minute warning when we're getting ready to shut down the rooms. But our team will also be in the main room, the room you're in now. So if you have questions, let us know. So Bree, if you want to go ahead and launch the rooms, there we go. And so if the companies, you could go ahead and go to your room, go to your room. Go to your room. I am a mom. Good, we have them going there. That is great. Okay. And if you get stuck, any of the companies and aren't sure or don't see how to go into your room, just let us know. You can drop it in the chat or you can unmute and let us know. And then, all right, I think we're about ready. So people on the line, anyone on the line, you may go ahead and join a room. So again, open up the icon that says breakout rooms at the bottom of your screen. I think there's probably 3 dots in the upper right on your phone if you're on your phone. Open that up. Put your mouse over, find the one you want to join, and then just click the join button that you see. If you can't see that join button, drop a message in the chat and we will send you to the room that you would like to go to. All right, let's see. Looks like all the rooms. Oh, Kubra. Where's the ladies from Kubra? Denise, do you remember who are the people from Kubra? I don't have that list in front of me.
Just Alex. She's the only one.
Alex, okay. Let me see.
Oh, wait, Carrie, did Alex say she was not going to have a room?
I don't recall her saying that.
Let me check with her right now.
I thought she said she was going to, but.
Okay. Let me check.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, yeah, we have people in there, but not her.
Okay.
I'm not in my room. How do I get in my room?
Oh, is that Cynthia?
Yes.
Okay, Cynthia, I am going to, let me see, let me find you
I
here.
tried sending her there. So Cynthia, if you kind of look at your screen, does anything come up that says join? Because I had sent you to that room.
No, what if I pull up under breakout rooms, I went ahead and pulled out breakout rooms. That's all I saw. And then when I do that, I see Arizona Nutritional. I see my name there, but it says not joined, and I don't know why. I can join the room, maybe.
Yeah. Try and click join.
Okay. Okay.
Jessica, I could hop in Kubra right now and talk to anybody that goes into that room.
Okay. Oh, I think she went. Okay. Yes, please do that, Denise. Thank you so much.
And what about Pipeline?
Nate Swartz, I'm not sure. I see your message that you don't see an option for breakout rooms. It should be on the bottom panel. Let's see, did he go anywhere yet?
And if you know what breakout room you'd like to go to, we can always send you to.
That's right. If you want to tell us, Nate, who you would like to go visit, we can kind of send you to that room.
And Andrew, you're driving, it says. So if you want to text us which room you want to go in, we can just put you in there as well.
Yeah. Deloitte. Nate wants to go to Deloitte.
Okay, I can, let's see, I will send him.
All right.
All right, perfect.
You're fine, Nate. It happens. So we see some other people, Sue, Jamie, Laura, Matthew, Ron. Any of you have a room you want to go to, let us know. And I see there's some more as well.
Scott, Sue, Fred, Angela. No, Andrew is driving.
Deloitte has a lot of people. in there. Lisa Marie would like to go to Voya.
Lisa Marie, got it.
Thank you.
Kubra is not hosting a breakout room, they said.
Okay.
Okay, Lisa Marie, you're on your way.
So
There's
Denise, do you
there's-
want, sorry, go ahead.
I will go in. If
There's
you
one
put me
person.
in, can you move me to, how do I get into Kubra?
I'll put you, you want to go to Cooper? I got you.
Yeah, and I'll talk
Yeah,
to
there's one
Fred.
person in there.
You're on your way. Oh, she just froze. She's on her way. Okay, so
Still no one in pipeline.
Andrew's driving.
I think Jasmine must not be hosting a room, which is fine.
Okay.
And when we send that email out, Joey, are you prepping that email? I don't know.
You know what? As soon as we got people into breakout rooms, that was my next task. I
Okay.
was, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that. Please include pipeline. You know, we're trying to get them over there for that grant.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so on the line, we still have Scott, and Sue and Tyler and John and Jamie and
Hey, Bree, will you move to the very last slide that has the list of everybody?
Jeffrey.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
And Jeffrey, if any of you want help jumping into rooms, you can text it in the chat or you can unmute and just talk to us. We'd love to help you jump into one of the rooms if that's helpful.
Great job, Bree. This was a lot.
Thank
Nice
you.
job. Nice job to you all.
Yes, everyone did amazing.
John, did you get kicked out of your room?
No, I had to take a quick meeting, so I wanted to
Oh, okay.
get out. Didn't realize folks was out here too.
Yep, we're out here.
Thanks for being here, John.
Say again, ma'am.
It said thanks for being here today and thanks for
Oh,
being part of it.
I absolutely love this event. It's always been great. This is me and Sarah's 4th year doing it, and I'll be so happy when we get to do it live again.
Yeah.
It was beautiful the very first time, and it's been great ever since. So I always love coming. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes.
you mute.
Well, we had great registrations and I think the in-person will help immensely. Hey, Jessica, what event did I write that last thank you for?
Was it Avondale?
Mm-mm. No, it
No,
would have been just a couple weeks ago. Would it have been Red Hot Resumes? Is that the last one we did? It had to have been.
you did. You did a really good one for that.
Okay, I'm just trying to find it because I'd love to just model it or just tweak that one. Okay.
Rooms are going well. Hey, Jeff, are you good? You need anything from us?
No, I'm good. I was just looking. Just
Awesome.
looking.
Thanks, Denise.
Hi, Jezreel.
Oh, is he on?
I can't talk. Now I can. I was muted.
Great to see you.
Hey, yeah, sure. It's a great opportunity today to just connect with more people for sure.
Yeah, well, make sure you follow up with us, stay in touch, and let me know how I can help you.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
let us know where you end up.
Okay, I will.
I'm sure you're gonna have some really great offers.
Yeah, I'm
Your
excited.
experience and background.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yep.
All right, let me go to another breakout room.
Okay.
Hi, I just wanted to thank you all for the program that you put on today and your support for veterans. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
So glad you're here.
Yes, I am. I made my transition from the Navy about 15 years ago, new here to Scottsdale. So I just thought about how I could share some of my experience to help others with their transition. And I am currently self-employed, but always looking at considering, other opportunities because the self-employment experiment is, up and down at times.
It is.
So, yeah, but I'm going to have to drop off now, but thank you very much for putting this on. And I look forward to maintaining the connections that I've made here today.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Denise is trying to get back in here. Let's see.
She's back in.
She is. Okay, great. Okay, so Andrew's still on the line. So Andrew or John or Melissa from Kiva. That's interesting that she still looks like she's, and Scott and Tyler, if any of you need help jumping into breakout rooms,